I got to be honest. I'm setting you up for a lot of rejection.
I can handle that. I used to work at a car dealership.
I didn't know. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, good. So we just got to get you sleeping through the night, buddy.
Yeah. So
That's all I care about.
Yeah, I've been asking myself one question and keeping it bottled up inside when really I should have been putting that out in the world because that's what I want answered.
That is brilliant. That's great.
Welcome to the Live Truly Free podcast, where we provide fatherly guidance to entrepreneurs at any level of their journey. Hi, I'm George Black, and this is AJ. Are you ready for this week's adventure of building great companies and discovering the Live Truly Free lifestyle for entrepreneurs? Awesome. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm George Black. I help guide entrepreneurs.
And I'm AJ Bishop. I'm a startup entrepreneur.
So AJ, you were telling me on the phone, you're doing all this stuff for your company and you've got all this stuff you got to do. I mean, I'm like, what do you got to do?
Yeah.
What's up?
Do you want to hear it all?
Sure.
So number one is working on negotiating a license to be able to actually sell the intellectual property.
Okay.
So working with that legal side of things. I got
to compare insurance quotes, set up QuickBooks Online. Okay. I was trying to set up payment process. I have to design the packaging, design a label. I've got to coordinate with my engineers.
That's it?
That's most of it, yeah.
Oh.
There might be some things I forgot, but...
So, okay. All right. So, here's my question. My response to all that is, so how's AJ doing?
AJ's okay.
You got the weight of the whole company on your shoulders. That's what it sounds like.
Essentially. I got two other people helping me hold the weight, but at the end of the day, I'm the CEO, so their weight also is, I have to carry half of it, because I'm responsible for assigning the weights, I guess.
AJ, when you describe all of that, it feels or sounds like it's all sort of the same. Everything's got to get done. Mm-hmm. If you're going to try to win the competition, get your sales going, get the company up and running, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's daunting, to say the least. And considering that our goal was to sell in September, and September is, I believe it's less than 7 days away. It's less than a week away at this point. It's going to be a busy weekend.
All right. So what keeps you up at night in regards to your company?
Whether people are going to buy my product or not.
All right.
And whether I'm doing all this work and then I go to 10 physical therapists and they're all like, no, this is stupid.
Okay.
That's my biggest fear, I guess.
Okay. All right. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. I sure can. And what do you do with that?
That, I guess, provides me my motivation, per se. And when I'm designing the packaging, the label, coordinating with my engineer, it's like all of this has to be done right to make sure someone wants to buy it. We have to create a product that is someone would use in a clinical practice.
Okay. Yeah. True. That's all true. Okay, so I'm going to call out something that I'm seeing is you need to breathe. You need some relief for a minute, okay? You're right. In the perfect world, all those things need to be done. Just breathe. Just take a breath here and let's go to what's keeping you up at night.
Okay.
Will they buy?
Yeah.
Why don't you go get that question answered first?
How do I do that?
Well, there you go. All right, let's figure that out. Because if we can get that question answered, so it's kind of like, what's keeping you up at night? If I know the answer to that question, well, first thing that's going to happen is you're going to sleep better. Now, there may be something else that's going to keep you up at night. I think in that whole laundry list of things to do, there's something else that's keeping you up at night. I have a feeling it has to do with the licensing.
Yeah.
Because if my understanding is correct, if the licensing isn't agreed to, what happens?
I can't sell the product. So yeah, I guess that's the second. You're spot on. If I've done all of this work and dealt with the university system we're getting the license from, and they've been a little bit disorganized and not the best
A little disorganized?
I'll keep it mild.
They might see this video.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the facts are you started pursuing the licensing when?
March.
Yeah. And so we're filming this in August, and there's still no end in sight.
There is an end in sight. We've gone back and forth, and now I'm just waiting to get on a call with their lawyer.
You're dealing with bureaucracy.
Yeah.
There's no end in sight. Okay. All right. Hopefully there is, but we don't know. All right. So we got two things here. And if we get the answer to, will people even buy this? In other words, am I making a product? We know it works, right?
Yeah.
We know it works. So it's like, will I be able to sell it? Will I be able to move product? Man, that's a huge question. And then the other one is, if you got the licensing agreement done and people will buy, what does that do for you? What do you feel? If I said to you right now, we know therapists are going to buy this because we've got a backlog of POs ready to go. And we know they're going to sign off on the licensing in September. And nothing else is done. How do you feel?
I think I'd have a good night's sleep.
Okay. All right. Okay. I want y'all to feel that, because what's going on is like there's a lot of stuff that we think we have to have right. And AJ, I can't tell you how many times. I am a perfectionist. Yeah. It's a curse, okay? And I think a lot of entrepreneurs we all suffer from this a little bit, where it's like we think if we got all this stuff just right, then it'll all work out. And it doesn't. And then we see some other entrepreneur come along. It's a mess. And they're selling it like hand over fist. And you're like, well, they're not doing it right. They're not dotting I's and crossing T's. What's going on here? And that's where it's like you've got to go to the fundamental question. I would hate for you to spend all this time and people are very nice to you, but they're not writing you checks.
Yeah.
And or even worse, the bureaucrats don't, for whatever reason, it's, we don't ever do these deals in less than 24 months. You're like, gee, that would have been nice to know.
Yeah.
I'm out of business. So that's where it's like you've got to go to the highest priority. So let's go with how on earth could you begin to find out if people will part with their money to buy your product?
So my initial plan to answer that question was over the summer we were doing free trial agreements where we give physical therapists the device for free, ask them for their feedback along the way, and then at the end they're going to have the option to buy the device for a discounted price.
Okay.
I'm comfortable saying that plan failed. The feedback, we weren't getting that feedback along the way. Okay. I'm pulling teeth to get feedback from them. And also...
How are you going after the feedback?
Just whatever contact I have, email and phone, hammering them, hitting everybody at least once a week until I actually get
So how did they get did you give them the device?
Yes.
Okay, so you must have gone to their place of business.
Yeah, so I went to their place of business, pitched them the device, demonstrated it for them, came with a free trial agreement contract, they signed it, the contract said they provide me feedback, and then after that they're like...
Okay, so what did you just learn? Contracts are meaningless.
Yeah.
I have made the very same mistake. I'm asking the wrong question on the feedback. You're all focused on the device, but what's keeping you up at night?
Whether they'll buy it.
That's the right question. That's the feedback you want. Mm-hmm. And then you want, if they say yes, then you want to know what will you pay for it.
Yeah.
So that you can start to figure out what would the market bear on this thing, and how do I, because that's the viable opportunity for you. Mm-hmm. If you know they're going to buy it. If they go, how would I improve this? okay, now follow this. If you got all this great feedback, let's say it was good, you got all this great feedback on how to improve the product, and then you fix it all and you got it all and you're so happy and you go to them and you go, here it is. And they go, gosh, great. Well, would you like to buy one? No. You know, what was this all about? What just happened? And so it's the wrong question.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm not saying you don't ever ask for feedback on the product, but if it never sells, what difference does it make how good it is? So, and you know, let me play a different way this would have worked. You go to them and you go, would you buy this product? And they go, well, I would if it did this instead of that.
Okay.
And you go, oh, well, we'd pay a lot if it did that. But this, no, we're not going to pay anything for that. All of a sudden, you got all the feedback you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because you only want to improve the product if they're going to buy the improvements. Now,
Okay.
I understand it's a medical device. You want to make sure it works. But you already know from the inventor that it does work. And so that fundamental piece of it isn't the question. Does this make sense?
This makes perfect sense. But now you have me questioning myself because I'm like, I want to sell in September, but for the past 4 months, I've been asking the wrong questions, and me asking the wrong questions has in turn led to like anxiety and keeping me up at night because I haven't asked the one question that has kept me up. Is this like an insurmountable mistake I've made? And now as I try to enter the market next month, I'm
okay. No, it's okay. Look, we're catching this so freaking early in the process. This is awesome. Here's what I would say.
That's comforting.
Pivot.
Okay.
Load your car up with these devices and go sell them.
Okay. Just go out and start.
You know, that's how Michael Dell did it.
Yeah, just start it.
He was selling computers out of the trunk of his car. You know, have you ever heard of Dell computers?
Yes. They're fairly popular.
Yeah. I mean, you know, really? You know, by the way, don't look for Michael Dell to be selling computers out of his trunk anymore. He has other people who do that. But that's the thing. Here's what I would go do. I would just shortcut the process. And I would just start, I would start calling, I would go back to those same therapists.
Okay.
I go, we're launching our product in September. Here's our price point. You know, and if you buy 10 of them, it's this price. If you buy one of them, it's this price, whatever you got, you know.
Yeah.
And go, how many do you think I can put you down for? We're taking pre-orders right now. And if you give me a pre-order right now with a 50% deposit, you'll get a 25% discount or something like that.
Okay.
Because it's cash flow, baby. Cash flow. See, I know.
Finance guy, yeah.
I helped start oh God. Well, okay, this is great. This guy could sell anything, okay? And I said, well, what can you sell in the first year? He wanted to buy this commercial furniture dealership. And he goes, oh, I can sell $3 million the first year. I go, what about the second year? He goes, 5. I go, what about the third year? 7. I said, if you can do that, I can get you $1 million net worth, because I had to run the numbers. I knew it was going to happen. Because I knew his margins and everything like that. I said, how much money you got to put in the business so we can buy it? He goes, none. I go, okay, this can be a little tricky. I go, well, you know what you're going to start doing? You're going to start taking deposits on all your orders. He goes, oh, in our business, you don't get deposits. I said, I thought you were the world's greatest salesman.
Yeah.
And this is a true story. This conversation didn't take this long. It took longer, right? Because I got a lot of pushback. You know, I had to sell the salesman, right? Yeah. So he starts asking for deposits. Of course, the people pay for the deposits because he's such a great salesman. And that's how we financed that business off of deposits.
Really?
Yep. You got to know what you're doing with cash flow. I did. And he knew how to sell, and he sold $3 million, $5 million, $7 million in 3 years. He had a net worth of the business, if you just liquidated the assets, of over $1 million.
Wow. This is great advice for me, because the other thing is the product that we were testing out was the bare bones version of what we're trying to do.
Right.
Like, we're trying to make it was made out of PVC pipe, wood, and foam.
Right.
We got the product literally at Home Depot. So now we're trying to source them better and actually make it look like a real medical device.
Right.
So you've just inspired me. Once my engineer finishes off this product design, which I'm hoping is in the next week, and then if I can have him build multiple for me, I'll be the young Michael Dell, and I'll throw those things in my trunk and just drive around all the physical therapy clinics we've worked with and say, hey, we're ready to sell. This is what we have. I haven't heard from you since we first saw each other. Do you want to buy this?
Right. Yeah. And so here's the thing. Okay. I got to be honest. I'm setting you up for a lot of rejection.
I can handle that. I used to work at a car dealership.
I didn't know. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. So a good closing rate, you got to figure out what that would be in your business, but it's going to be something less. It's going to be like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5. That means 4 people said no, 3 people said no. And so it's, as the leader, the CEO, you've got to be the rainmaker in this deal.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't worry about a sales contract to save my life.
Okay.
I would have a PO and a fast way they can make a deposit. What you want to do is you want to close them, you want to get pre-orders, and you want to get deposits. Because, here's why you want the deposit. The cash flow thing's absolutely, completely true.
Cash is king.
But if I've just got a signed PO and no cash, come on. They come back and they're like, AJ, who? You're selling me what? You go, oh, here's the PO. And they're like, yeah, whatever. You go, well, you put 50% down.
Yeah.
And it's non-refundable.
Then they're like, all right, we got to get another.
Well, go ahead. What do you got? What did we buy? You bought 10 of these. Here you go. And here's the other thing. If you can get someone to part from their money, they are believing in you now. Mm-hmm. You will get the best feedback, positive or negative, from someone who's going to give you their money.
Yeah, because then they're telling you, because then they'll be more motivated to tell me what they feel. And when they do tell me, it's based on the value.
Right.
Like, then I can actually understand my product's value at that point.
You know what? In that whole laundry list, you know what you never mentioned that you need to be working on?
What was that?
Pricing.
Oh, that was in the list. That is on my to-do sheet.
We can replay the list. We can replay the list and go back and look. But here's the thing. You need to come up with a price structure that incentivizes early orders.
Okay. So
I'll make up some numbers because I don't know your numbers. So like if the product sells for $1,000 a piece, okay? Mm-hmm. And you go, I'll give you a $250 discount if you'll put $375 down, which would be half of $750, and we'll deliver the product to you at the end of September. Okay, so you're like, oh, well, that sounds like a good deal. And I really like the product. You've got to sell them on the product, you got to demo it, that sort of thing. Or if they're buying 10, then there's a bulk discount, for the buying the 10. But you discount it because of the deposit. You discount it not because of the deposit. You discount it because of the pre-order.
Okay.
What do you take away from all of this?
I have been asking the wrong question.
Okay.
Let's
focus on the positive things, okay? It's not what you did wrong. It's what you're gonna do right.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta figure out what we did wrong, and then we get to the positive. So
we just got to get you sleeping through the night, buddy.
Yeah. So that's
all I care about.
Yeah, I've been asking myself one question and keeping it bottled up inside when really I should have been putting that out in the world because that's what I want answered.
That is brilliant. That's great. That's a great takeaway. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Think about what's keeping you guys up at night and go ask yourself that question. Get that clear, what's keeping you up at night, and then what can you do? Like with AJ here, he goes, oh, why don't I just go ask the world that question instead of keeping it all bottled up? That's brilliant.
That's exactly what I'll do. And now I'm going to be that young Michael Dell, and I'm going to go out with my device and start asking the questions.
Yeah, cool. For more conversations like this one, check out this video next. I know you'll love it. And if there's a topic you'd like to hear AJ and I talk about, just leave it in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.